cheering for the Canucks. We love to do it. We love talking about the Canucks, and there's no greater person to talk about the Canucks with than this guy over here. He's a BC Sports Hall of Famer now, our colleague Don Taylor. Thanks for sticking around for us.
No problem. Now, I thought you were going to say also Burnaby Sports Hall of Famer.
Oh.
And we actually have the induction ceremony tomorrow. I'm going in with Louis Pasaglia and Mike Santarelli.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's where I grew up.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're
not
a big
far from
star.
you.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I don't know about that.
I love it.
I know about that.
Yeah.
That's my greatest thrill of my sports career, was doing the Olympic announcement at then GM Place with
That's
you
funny.
that day.
That's my greatest moment as well with you.
Thanks.
2003. I remember it well at what was then GM Place. Yeah.
Oh, Love Fest here.
Yeah, it is.
That's why I wore my
Sorry.
heart.
No, but I worked with you as well at CKVU back in the 80s.
We were like 17 years old at the time. It's just hard to believe.
Yeah.
Hey, can we talk? I was going to say, I'm not a Canucks fan, but that's not my team. And so I'm really intrigued by the whole psychology around Canucks fans, because they seem, and we went through a lot of this in Edmonton too.
That was a record. Yeah. That was a record.
Stop right there. You went through what in Edmonton?
Long droughts where they didn't do well.
Yeah, but you've got 5 Stanley Cups.
Yeah,
you
but that was also
compare.
a really long time ago.
Sure, but at least it happened
Yes,
in our
I know.
lifetime.
You're right.
Not like the Leafs that happened a million years ago.
I got the over-under on
So is
Linda
that the whole
mentioning the
thing?
Oilers.
Yeah,
quickly
pardon me?
in our
Is that the
Canucks.
whole thing? Is just that they're bitter because they've never won? Because you've had great players.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Oh, thanks for that.
Right.
And when you say we, I don't
I
want to
mean,
sound
we,
like
sports
I don't want to
people.
sound like I'm on the bandwagon
Okay.
with the Canucks. But great players. But look, listen, every Canuck fan out there, I think, would trade Bure for a Stanley Cup.
Really? So
Well,
they have
especially people who are
no
my
loyalty
age.
to the players.
Yeah, no. It's just that time is ticking for a lot of us
Right.
who have been around since 1970 when the Canucks were around. And is it going to happen, before the big event? I'm not so sure.
Is it going to happen this year?
Well, honestly, Jody, Linda, I don't know. I honestly don't know who's going to win the Stanley Cup. I think a lot of people are wondering. There's so many good teams in the West. There's 6 teams in the West that I think can take it. Florida is so good, and I think they're the best team of the National Hockey League. But I could see them maybe unraveling. There's still some competition there as well, like the Boston Bruins, surprisingly. Toronto's there. But I just don't know if I really have a strong favorite. So maybe why not this year?
Let's talk about what's working for the Canucks then, because I was at the game on Wednesday versus Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And it really felt like end-to-end fun, exciting playoff hockey. It didn't hurt that the Canucks were just killing it out there. What is different right now with this team than, say, a year ago?
Okay, now it was Saturday against Winnipeg, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, sorry, Saturday. Did I say Wednesday?
You did.
Oh, my God.
Wednesday was another story,
Wednesday
Jody.
was
That
the
was
Colorado
that
Avalanche.
was Colorado.
That was last
Maybe you've
night.
erased it from your mind, which
did.
I wouldn't,
Brian was there.
Yeah, there you go.
That was a tough one.
It was tough. They have a lot of great players. I really think that it starts with, first of all, Thatcher Demko. You have to have a strong goaltender, who they don't have right now. Right. He's injured. But the more I watch them and the more I hear from them, I just think Rick Tocchet is a gem.
I think so, too.
I really do. And I think that's the big difference. Yeah. I think, they can look at and we look at the footage of him and Sergei Gonchar and Adam Foote. First of all, look, they're scary. Whatever those guys say, I would listen to.
Correct.
Okay, so there's that.
Cracking heads.
They have great resumes, and then every time Rick Tocchet talks after a practice, before a game, after a game, he says something that I didn't know, or something that really makes sense. And not that I know everything, but I can imagine the players nodding their heads saying, yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. And he's got the resume to back it up, not only as a coach and an assistant coach, in most cases, but as a player, he's done just so much. He's got that presence about him. I just think he's a real gem. He came here under difficult circumstances, replacing a really popular person in Bruce Boudreau. But right. I just think he's done a great job, and really holds them accountable. And I think it starts with him and Demko and goes out from there. And Quinn Hughes too, I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the Canadian teams? Because there's a lot of really strong
back to the
Canadian
Oilers
teams.
here. Okay.
I'm talking about Winnipeg too,
Yeah.
and Vancouver and the Oilers and who else?
Yeah.
Are there any other Canadian
Other than the
teams that
Oilers?
might actually
Well, Toronto.
go all well?
Yeah.
Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the Cup odds, when we look at that,
Yeah.
that's showing the Canucks lower than they should be when they have been number one in the league so far this year on several occasions.
Yep.
Why are
Yep.
they down so low?
Well, I guess, well, you had a real tough February. And I think maybe that the odds that we're seeing here are reflective of that. Demko's injured right now. I don't know if that plays into that, so you don't know exactly how healthy he's going to be going into a postseason. Maybe there's that. Also, one thing that's happening right now, and I don't want to be too critical, but Elias Pettersson, who's getting a lot of money or will be getting a lot of money, doesn't always come through in the big games. And we saw that the other night against Colorado. Yeah. And so that's a question mark. Having said that, when they made their last decent playoff push, it was 2020 in the bubble up in Edmonton.
Right.
And they took Vegas to 7 games in the second round. You do?
I don't like Vegas.
Yeah, well, they're not Edmonton. I understand that. And Pettersson was good.
Yeah.
He was solid in that.
He really was.
So there's
he's
hope
streaky.
there. So maybe that plays into it. I'm not sure. But that tough February, I think a lot of people might have looked at that, including people in Vancouver who are Canuck fans, and said, okay,
Oh,
maybe.
no, not again.
Maybe they're not all they're cracked up to be. But they turned it around until the other night.
What do we know about Demko's injury at this point? I mean,
Well,
watching Donnie and Dolly.
Yeah.
Give us the...
Yeah, that's not a good idea. But actually it is. But knee injury. Yeah. Right.
That's not good.
It's I think our understanding is 2 to 4 weeks, and that it's a knee injury versus something else that's bothered him in the past, which is a groin, a groin issue. He missed three months last year, I believe.
Yeah.
If it's a soft tissue injury, it takes forever. This is not a serious knee injury, from what we understand. So,
I'll never tell you.
Yeah, as painful as it sounds. It's the lesser of two evils, I think.
So if they go all the way and they get right to the very end and then they boop the bed like they did in 2011, are we going to see another riot? Like, what is it with Vancouver fans that we see this kind of nonsense?
Well, we saw it in '94 too.
I know. That's what I'm wondering. What is it with Vancouver fans? Or are they fans? Or are they just drunk young men?
Yeah, you wouldn't know by looking at those pictures. But yeah, sure, they're fans. And they are drunk young men. Okay, look, you're from Edmonton. Jody and I are both from Vancouver. I don't mean to single you out by any means. Would you agree that there's something about Vancouver that there's just, do I call it weirdness?
But you do, you do. And it would be accurate.
I just read a story on
Born
the
and
Beatles.
raised Vancouverites, by the way.
Beatles coming to Vancouver in 63, 64, whatever year it was. They rushed the stage, riot.
Right.
Sea Festival. In Penticton, the Peach Fest, Sandcastle competition. They all get canceled because of these people not behaving themselves. Yeah. And I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about this city.
In 1994, that Stanley Cup riot, where the Pacific Coliseum is in East Vancouver, and the riot was on Robson and Burrard.
Right. Yeah, but that's where everybody was. The bars were, right?
Right, but it's one of those things you're like, okay. Yeah. You know, because when you look at Montreal, this is my point. You look at Montreal, typically it's the people coming out of the stadium that merge with the fans that are coming out from whatever, and it gets rowdy, and then it gets rowdier. The people that were pulling off their T-shirt or pulling off their sweaters and said, "I'm here for the riot," that was.
Well, okay, that's another theory. That there's this mystery of why Vancouver behaves like it does. And not just with sporting events. But the other theory is that that people, like say 94 happened, there was that riot. And then people who rioted in 2011, well, they grew up hearing about 94. Right. Now, it wasn't as well documented. No. It's just traditional media that covered it, but it was still out there. You still could see the pictures, you heard about it. And I always wonder, was it a case of, hey, now it's our turn? And we're going to go one better, and I wonder if it happens again, because it's been a while since 2011. Yeah. And will it happen again with another
Well,
generation?
I'll tell you what, the police did a good job last time of identifying people and putting out the video and the pictures,
You're
and
right.
everyone's got a smartphone. So if you're thinking about riding again,
Do you think that
you could go to
matters? Do you
jail.
think that matters if
Well,
you've had a
maybe
few?
not in the moment,
Yeah.
but there's going to be
Yeah.
consequences.
Sure.
I was sitting with Dixon Ward during that game because I was at the rink, obviously doing
Yeah.
the post-game show there at Seeking Stanley. And before the game started, Dixon leaned in and went, "Win or lose, this place is going to explode."
Oh, you could tell.
Like the
Yeah.
whole thing was
Well, you
palpable.
could, and let me say this: you mentioned Montreal, and people forget that '94 the Canucks had the riot when they lost Game 7 in New York.
Yeah.
The year before, Montreal was the last time the Canadian team won the Stanley Cup. In 1993, they won, and they had a riot in Montreal. Again, no smartphones, not as well documented, but they won and had a riot. I don't think it would have mattered win or lose.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay,
fun
well, that
being a
was
sports
fun.
fan, right?
Yeah.
I would love to sit and talk to you for the whole show, but we can't. So
Well, no, you don't
well, we
want to
could.
talk to me.
I
You're
do,
an Oilers
actually.
fan.
That's
come
why I
on.
like to talk to you
Okay.
because
Yeah.
I'm interested in hockey, and the Canucks are my
But
second
you
team.
can't.
Oh, look at there's my boy.
Oh God, here it is. Yeah. Just looking at this, I'm like, and look, we've had Bure and some wonderful players here, and Hughes and Pedersen and all that, but you guys are so spoiled. I mean, McDavid and Gretzky. I mean, just stop
That's
it.
why they deserve
Okay,
to
we're
win
out
the
of
cup.
time. Sorry,
Yeah,
we're out
Deserve
of
to win
time.
the cup because they're
Yeah.
getting older.
Hey, we got
And they're
Messier
gonna
too.
go.
A different
Really?
version. Yeah.
a different version.
Yeah.
We blocked that out.
Don
Yeah.
Taylor, thank you so much. That was
Anytime.
fun.
What fun.
Great. Yeah.
You're going to stay tuned because you're going to be really interested in our next guest on the program because we're talking about microdosing and menopause, right, Donnie?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Two of my favorites.
Yeah.
Microdosing magic mushrooms.
Yes.
They're illegal, but a lot of people are starting to do it now for anxiety, menopause, as he mentioned. Vancouver author Tara McGuire is a believer, and she joins us to explain why next.
Oh, right. We still got to get our
That-
viewing party in
that-
here. Jasmine in New Westminster. Hello, Jasmine.
We have Laura in Pitt Meadows and a little kitty in the background.
And then we have Lori in Pender Harbor. Hi, Lori.
And Linda in New Westminster. No, yes.
Yes,
Thank you
get
all for
in.
watching.
Get in on our viewing party easily. Take a picture of you watching us. Email us viewingparty@chekmedia.ca.